today on The Social. Driving into the future. Driverless ride shares are expected to roll out in Germany and Britain early next year. But should this idea remain parked? And VIP nuptials. Why one couple's decision to charge guests admission to their wedding has some people saying, I do to the alternative approach. Then, from primer to setting powder, the makeup products you need to achieve long-lasting looks in the summer heat. From shopping editor Renee Say. Plus, the do's and don'ts for applying to your dream job from career expert Emily Durham. It all starts now on The Social.
We'd like to welcome back journalist and speaker Farah Nasser. Welcome back. Okay, boy, we got a big question to start the show, and we're going to kind of start in the future. Rideshare companies Lyft and Uber, they've now teamed up with one of China's biggest AI firms to bring driverless cars, also called robo-taxis, to Europe. It's not too far away, by 2026. Okay, driverless taxis in Europe, 2026. You're gonna go get your latte, your gelato in a, driverless car. Would you use this, is the question.
Wow.
Wow.
I already love y'all.
So
Good, good.
Okay, you're not going to like me because I have. So I have used one in California. They have a program called Waymo, and it's quite popular there. And here's a video of my ride. It was so easy to use. You go there, you press a button. Your Spotify just totally is already linked.
Ghost
so it's playing
driver,
your music.
ghost. It looks like a ghost.
You can see, yeah.
Oh,
it's pretty creepy
my
when you're first into it. But this was a 4-minute drive. We would have walked, but it was raining, so we used a Waymo to get to the restaurant. But it's a little freaky at the beginning, but it was a pretty cool experience.
Can I ask you a question? Did you read the fact, because I actually didn't know about Waymo until you said it, until I did this research, that they had recalled 1,200 robotaxi due to software glitches causing crashes, I think, in the past year. So, like,
did I know? I did not know that.
You?
This is March break this year.
Okay, so if you knew that going in, would you have done it?
I probably would have done it, but I wouldn't put my kids in it. My kids were in a different one.
Okay, you would have done it without the kids.
Yeah, I would have tried it.
But your kids need you, darling.
I know. Here's the thing. It did have one glitch though that I have to mention. So at the end of the drive was great, but at the end of the drive, it dropped me like right in the middle of the road.
Oh.
So it wasn't like it pulled over.
But
it was
then
just
how do you get out?
Get out.
Yeah, it was basically like get out, and I'm like.
And you can't get out.
I get out.
I have a question. You can't get out until it unlocks the doors, right?
Yes.
Yes. That's all I needed to hear. No,
Did anyone see the movie Christine? It's about a car that like goes crazy and starts killing people who get inside of it. It's a ghost story anyway. I don't know. I'm not into this. Are you into this?
I'm not into this, but for a different reason. The safety thing is at the top of mind, but I also think that we have to think about people's jobs. I know we're heading into the future and there's a lot of great technology, but the taxi drivers already took a major hit when they allowed Uber and Lyft into a lot of cities. And I just think if we allow this, we're not considering the people. There are people who feed their families with this job. There are people who come to this country and this is how they navigate and figure things out. And I'm not comfortable with another set of technology coming in and we're dismissing or not thinking about how this is going to impact people who have a real life and a mortgage to pay and they'd like to put their kids through college. So for me, I'm not saying you can't do it, but if we are going to allow it, I'd like us to put a limit on the number of cars. Well, not these ones because they're dangerous to kill you. I would like to put a limit on how many of them can be in the city because I think it's not fair to people. And I have sat in many wonderful cab with lots of great drivers and heard all about their life story, and I don't want to give that up. I like people.
I agree.
I don't want to see that happen to them.
I'm going to agree, but I'm going to be the Debbie Downer on that side. There are amazing cab drivers in the cities across the country. There are also really problematic drivers, okay? And I hope that I'm talking about a minority, but the New York Times just dropped a huge article today, and it was basically about the reports of sexual assaults by rideshare drivers. And so the sad part is, for that hopefully small number of people who are the bad players, I speak as a woman. I have now thought about, maybe I don't take a rideshare when it's late at night because I'm in a car with a stranger. And I will say the reason why I would get in a driverless car is because A, I would rather be in a driverless car than in a dark back road with somebody I don't know. I'll be honest, that's just me.
Yeah.
The other part is the crash part. 94 to 96% of all car crashes are caused by human error. So why don't we just take the human out and then see what happens? I don't know. There's a risk on both sides. So I'm just trying to think, like, this is the way of the future. It sure sounds like it. So should we just get on board?
Do you worry
So
about
I don't
hackers,
know.
like, too? Like, I'm thinking about, like, hackers are getting into everything. And, like, I feel like you're not worried about this at all.
Well, the reason I'm not is because your stat, like you pointed out something. We're talking about 1,200 crashes. Horrible. Shouldn't be one crash. But how many crashes are caused by humans? Like, what are the stats? How many cars have there been?
When you do
like,
a comparative look at it.
I don't know. I still think we're safer. Like, I really do.
Should we
like,
be fear-mongering and talking about how many people crash? People crash cars, people who are in cabs, they're in Ubers, that happens all the time. Should we be fear-mongering and saying, oh, well, it's safer if we have a driverless car because
But I think
of
you have
all
to
these
just look at
stats?
statistics.
Getting
like,
in a car in itself and getting on the highway is dangerous.
Absolutely. It's still, it's actually more dangerous to drive than it is to fly. I mean, we certainly know that.
Yeah.
But a driverless car doesn't have drunk driving problems.
Right.
Is not texting, hopefully.
But the drunk driver,
the
wait,
texting is part of its job.
but the drunk driver can still hit your driverless car.
You know, but yes, but that's the point, is you're seeing more and more of these hit the road. So if you take the human
Less drunk
error
drivers.
element out of it, again, this is new, but it's the way of the future. So glad you survived.
Yes. Thank you.
And shared the tale
And
with
never
us,
get
telling
back
the
in
story.
another one.
You know what? The other thing is watching the way my kids play Mario Kart. They should not be in driving. They should not be driving. So if driverless cars can be around for them, I think we'll all be safer.
It's true. It's true.
All right. So let's go from the future to the past. A Gen X woman who wrote to the New York Times asking for advice. And she said she loves jumpsuits, but she's starting to wonder if wearing them is an obvious sign of her age.
Wow.
I didn't even know jumpsuits were dated, by the way. This is news to me. What piece of clothing do you wear, Cyn, that proudly reveals your age?
I love jumpsuits. I own at least 5 of them. So if that is something
I know,
that
like, this is
means that you're
news.
older, I did not know. I'm actually wearing one in the new show Open coming this fall. So stay tuned for me looking old in that. I think one of the things is maybe rock t-shirts. I've noticed lately, like, okay, so like all the rock t-shirts are people
Like
who
rock
are
bands?
Rock bands, like Prince and David Bowie
But that's
and
in
Grateful
the
Dead.
stores, H&M and all of those
Yeah,
stores
kid
are
stores have
retro.
them
They're
wearing
retro.
No, I think it dates you. I think that they're doing like the Britney or the like they're doing a little, like they're doing like
What are they doing?
Taylor
early
Swift.
2000s?
What are they doing? What are they doing with that shoulder?
I think this.
I think
right?
it's the dance moves that are giving you up, Cynthia.
True.
Never mind the rock t-shirt.
Wait, are you guys proudly wearing anything? That
I want to go back to this jumpsuit problem. You know what? I dare you to DM me and tell me there's a problem with jumpsuits. I dare you.
Yeah.
First of all, as a short girl, I want to speak for the short girls. We have a proportion issue. So I wear jumpsuits because it actually can give you the illusion that you're longer. This was not that long ago. That's a one-piece jumpsuit. I think I look great.
You do.
Right? But I will say, I do, there are some pieces that I go back and I go, you know, this was a moment in time, but maybe I lean into it, maybe I lean back. And that is wearing bikini tops as tops. Bikini tops.
you're on vacation.
You're on a beach.
vacation.
This is where you're supposed to wear the bikini
You don't understand. This is vacation, but I also wear this in the summer in downtown Toronto. So it's more weather dependent rather than destination dependent. So maybe that shows my age or whatever.
What about you, Farah?
I'm not giving up the ankle socks. I don't care.
Oh.
I don't
mean?
care.
The
you know
hidden
those-
socks.
Yeah,
you
the
mean
hidden socks.
Hidden
Hidden
socks.
socks.
Yeah, all the
Okay.
kids, they've switched it up.
I know.
They want
I'm
to
not
see the
doing it.
socks now.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
You
do.
gotta give a
It makes
couple
my
inches.
legs look
Looking at the
shorter. It
kids.
doesn't work for me. I'm not doing it.
I think this conversation is so weird because it's like, who decided what's age appropriate? Who's making that
Especially with
decision?
socks.
And let me see that person and what they're wearing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm always uncomfortable with this, like, what's age appropriate? If you put it on and it makes you feel good, well, then that's what's appropriate. But, you know, most people can't figure out my age, mainly because the black don't crack. And And I also don't tell them. And I don't believe in like articles of clothing that I'm not supposed to wear. But even when I'm feeling my cutest, like today I'm wearing a little crop top. I got the Melissa special on and I'm pulling it down. I will say this, no matter how young or how old they think I am, the one thing that gives me up is someone will be like, why don't you just read this on my phone? And I'm like, wait a second.
That's it. That's it.
Because I can't read that, and the readers give me up, and I start doing this, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm showing my age a little bit. So for me, it's the good old readers that give me up every single time.
Yeah, I think wear what you like.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Readers across
wear
the
what
table.
you like. It's true. Readers across the table. Okay, let's take a quick break, everybody. And then after that, one couple charged guests a fee to attend their wedding. Okay, so the price for admission, the price to attend their wedding, in one case, almost $1,000. Okay, we're going to tell you why they did this, and is this idea perhaps going to revolutionize or perhaps ruin the wedding industry? We'll debate in 2 minutes. We'll be back.
Tomorrow on The Social, the ultimate foodie travel guide. Global destinations that will satisfy your travel bug and your sweet tooth at the same time. This week on The Social, what is fibermaxing and why is everyone on TikTok saying you need to do it? Registered dietitian Nishta Saxena is back to break down the nutritional trend that's taking over social media.
You're going to be coming to the Toronto area. We would love to see you here live in studio. How to get tickets? Super easy. Just scan the QR code right there. Thank you, Vanna White.
Yeah, thank you.
Right there. Ask your parents who Vanna White is, and then you can be here live with us in studio.
Okay, a bride and a groom decided that instead of gifts, they would charge their guests an admission fee to avoid going into debt for their celebration. So here's how they broke it down. Tier 1 was a basic ticket valued at $57, which covered the ceremony and reception. Tier 2 tickets went for $997 and included access to the rehearsal dinner and other VIP perks like a biohacking brunch. So the couple ended up bringing in, get this, over $100,000 for their wedding. So do we like this idea, subsidizing it through tickets?
You know what? I said it at the top of the show, and I'm going to say it again. I love y'all. Common sense people sitting here. Listen, unless Beyonce or Taylor Swift is showing up at that wedding, you're not getting $997 from me. And I think, listen, I'm gonna be real. Aside from this couple and their, I don't know what to call it, your wedding is special to you. You and your loved one, you guys getting married is great for you. But for the rest of us, we're showing up because we love you, not because we don't have other things to do with our entire Saturday. So this idea that you want us to now pay like it's an event we're going to is cuckoo bananas for me. Like, I don't understand where your head's at. And also, you're setting up, I hope people don't follow this, because I think you also could set yourself up for failure. Because if there's like a $57, which I think most people can do, and then the other price is a $997, well, guess which one we're all going to? The $57 one, and you're gonna sit by yourself for the rest of the day. I don't need your biohacking. I could sit at home and do whatever I want. Like, this makes no sense to me, and it defeats the purpose of why people are getting together and getting married in the first place. It's about love, not a cash grab, no?
So the tiered part, right, that feels very Ticketmastery to me, so I get that. But to be honest, weddings are transactional. Like, if we're being honest with each other, people write like no box gifts, or you came to my wedding.
Yes, I did.
You in the
Had
envelope.
a good time.
You did. And so you gave a gift. I never asked for a gift, but you knew you were going to give me a gift,
yes, but then it's up to me for what I was going to put in that envelope, right? It wasn't you going, in order for you to be in here, it's going to cost you $57, because you know I wouldn't have shown up, girl.
No, you definitely
wouldn't
have. I know you wouldn't have. But having said that, maybe it would have been a deal for you, actually. Maybe you would have put more, and I would have been like, all I need is $100.
That would never happen. I'm cheap.
Maybe you're right. You're not wrong, though, in the sense of, like, you know, we didn't take gifts. We just said we would prefer to have, like, you know, either nothing or a gift from the heart or a donation towards our wedding. So you're not wrong in the sense that ultimately, as Italian weddings in particular, you end up giving money, which pays for the cost of the wedding. This one's just being very transparent about it. And to be clear, there also is a tier of like freebie friends that for this particular wedding, they allowed certain, like, I think top tier people to get in, I think, for no cost.
That's worse.
Top tier, like,
That's
is actually
not right.
making very transparent. We all have tiers of friends. Do not deny
but
that.
if
At my wedding, but at
Okay,
my
what?
wedding, the top tier friends and family were the ones who gave me the most money. So like there's something about this that feels icky. I think it's because maybe, and I don't know if it's icky or if it's refreshing, that they're just laying it out on the table. To me, there is the intention behind it. First of all, $57, if I only had to pay $57 to go to your wedding, that's a steal.
Yeah, compared to the
that's
concert,
a lot
for
less
sure.
money that I would actually put in the booster, right? And I do want to, there is a cultural component to this because I think it's the story you tell. These people are event planners. They actually thought that this was a little bit of like, well, we throw events all the time, so we're going to throw our wedding like we throw an event, which is like throw the Ticketmaster at it. The Italians, the Portuguese, my husband's Italian, I'm half Portuguese. It's the story you tell with that envelope of money. In this case, they're saying, you should be so lucky to come to our wedding and you get to pay this amount of money. The Italians, the Portuguese, I'm sure there's a lot of cultures that do this. That is the intention of giving financially, which is the community is there to help the couple to start their life not in debt. That's the whole point.
The opportune word in that is I give, not you charge.
But it's an unspoken,
Okay,
I think that's the story.
I'm at the stage of life, to talk back to the age, I'm at the stage of life where I wear jumpsuits, and also where not a lot of people are getting married unless they're doing a second marriage or something like that. And I love a great wedding. So if there was an opportunity, so let's just say Jess Allen, for example, who is not here right now, but let's say she and Simon decided to get married. And she's like, you know, we can't really afford a lot of things, so we're gonna just have a tiny wedding. We would want to be there. We would be like, let us pay. We will stand far away if you don't want to see us, but we will pay to be there because we want to go to the event. So I remember from my wedding even, I had to cut the list off at a certain point. There were other people I wanted to be there, but we wanted to keep it intimate. But if they were willing to pay for themselves, I might have considered that as an option. I haven't got anyone.
You've got no one. You can
honestly,
feel it,
okay, so,
and it's okay.
So
it's okay.
Is there another level that's even further down that's like streaming for $9.99? When do we stop this?
If I could go get that YouTube channel, that would be great. Great idea.
That means Grandma could be there.
That's right. Everybody
If she
can.
wants
You
to
can
be.
all be there.
All right, so let's move on to our next one. A woman wrote to Slate unpacking how fundamental the movie Ghost was in her sexual awakening. Specifically, that pottery wheel scene featuring Demi Moore and a shirtless Patrick Swayze. So it got us thinking. What was your sexual awakening movie scene? Oh, I can see the wheels turning.
I wasn't watching in my jumpsuit. It was my pre-jumpsuit era, but it was when Samantha finally got a kiss from Jake in 16 Candles.
I remember this. Yes, I do.
That movie was, I think I was a little too young for my sexual awakening. I think I was only 7 or 8 years old. What was I doing watching that movie? But what happened to the good classic coming-of-age movie?
The romantics.
Where all your parts just light up. Right? And so that scene, because that whole movie was a build-up, there were very problematic scenes, but I remember when they finally got that kiss, I was like, oh my gosh, all my bits are tingling and I love it.
So mine was, my sexual awakening movie kind of went wrong. So I'll tell you guys the story, and my dad is watching, and I don't even know if I should. But anyway, here we go.
Turn the TV off there. Turn it off.
Yeah, Dad, just turn it off. Honestly, you're not going to want to hear this. Okay, so what happened was there was this movie called Boomerang. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's one of my
You guys remember that?
favorites. Oh
So my
gosh.
cousin and I had heard about it, and we'd heard that it had like sexual undertones. And back then, there wasn't like very explicit sex and things, right? So we're like, it was Toonie Tuesday at the movie theater. It was $2 Tuesday, so we bought tickets.
Toonie Tuesday.
Yeah, do you guys remember movies for $2? Yeah. So we went to the movies, and we asked my dad, we're like, can you drive us? And he was like, yeah. So he's driving us. He's like, oh, who's in this movie? We're like, Eddie Murphy. He's like, oh, I love Eddie Murphy. I want to come to the movie.
Oh.
And we were like, no, it's not. You won't like it. And we tried so hard. Anyway, he ends up coming to the movie with us. He sits between the two of us.
Oh,
the sex scenes come on, and he's like, Farah, Shaheen, close your eyes. Close your eyes. And everybody heard, obviously, in the theater. And if that wasn't bad enough, the whole movie, we're like, oh my God. And then we walked to the car. I remember we sat down, he turns on the ignition, and the song that comes on the radio, Color Me Bad, I Want to Sex You Up.
Awkward.
He's like, what is wrong with you girls?
Awkward.
We
good
love
song.
that. Oh my God, I'm gonna go back and watch that movie.
That's a great
good one.
movie.
Okay, let's take a quick break, everybody. Is it concerning if your partner has no friends? Yes. Yeah, okay. And the other question, is it your job then to help them get a social group of their own? We're going to discuss this really interesting topic.
I love black women.
Battle of the genders when we come back. We'll be back. Everybody, this is really interesting. A woman wrote to the Washington Post for advice. She said she loves her husband, but feels that he is far too dependent on her for social plans because he has no friends. She says it's only gotten worse since he's retired. So are you worried, or would you worry if your partner has no friends?
For me, my friendships are the reason that I'm like very stable mental health wise. Like my friends really help me, and I think that if my husband didn't have these relationships as we grew older, I could see that being a problem. And right now, his best friend lives in Montreal, his other best friend lives in Belgium, and they see each other maybe once a year, but they don't call and pick up the phone to talk, right? They're not gonna get on FaceTime or Zoom to be like, let's catch up over, a glass of wine. They won't do that. So I think that it's harder for guys to do that, and that does worry me as we get older, yeah.
It's interesting because I hear a lot of adults talk about how hard it is to make friends as you get older, period, aside from just like this whole scenario. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, what you need to do is join a club. What do you like to do? Do you like to ride bikes? Do you like to run? Even if you don't, what are your hobbies? What are you interested in? Because outside of school and your workplace, you realize you don't really know how to make friends. You don't put yourself out there to make friends. So this doesn't surprise me. I've heard a lot of older women say this about their husbands. But we have a group that visits us every once in a while, the Probus Canada. It is for semi-retired and retirement people who come by, and it's like just knowing about groups like that. It's for both men and women, where it's like, yes, I would tell that woman, do a little Google search, find out what group is in your neighborhood, and go, and don't tell your husband, you need more friends. It's like,
yeah, that won't work.
That's gonna be insulting. More like, you know what, I found this group, let's go see if we can make some connections and have some friends that way.
Yeah.
And I will say this much, I obviously don't have a husband. I'd rather have a husband who has no friends than a husband who has friends that I don't like. Because I've dated that guy.
And who's out every night with his friends.
That's a whole other problem, my friend.
Yeah, Jason definitely, he's an only child and he's an introvert, so he's really used to his own company and he enjoys himself. So he doesn't have a lot of friends. It doesn't concern me, except for the fact that I think as we get older, like I do think there's something really important for men to have. Unfortunately, he's had a bad picker when it does come to some guy friends. He's found like men can get oddly competitive, and I wonder if that's like a default mode. I don't know what it is, but I know as a mom of a son, what I'm trying really hard to instill in him is how he can articulate his emotions, his feelings, to be open with guy friends, and starting that really early on, because it dawned on me as we were thinking about this topic today that even something as simple as I would say like, oh, I'm gonna go out with my girlfriend and go for a walk today. Do you ever hear men say, oh, I'm gonna just call up Charlie and go for a walk? That's an unusual, they usually have to be doing something. And I think we need to just like get rid of that, break that down and stop that. Men should be able to
But if they're doing that, like if they're getting together for Sunday Night Football, I think that's great.
Is it? Because I feel like for the guys who are not into football, like, they're not bonding, they're not talking about their emotions, they're not expressing like, oh my God, I'm going through grief right now because I lost a family member, or like as you get older.
I don't think you can't do both things.
I don't think they're doing that while they're watching the game.
Well, okay.
I don't think they're doing that.
Well, when they're watching the game, they do just kind of sit in silence and just stare at the screen. But I think there are some men who are reaching out, especially guys who are lucky enough to make friends in, say, their first year of college, or guys from like some team that they were on. I think they still do that. I think Kwame looks like a man who's in touch with his feelings. I'm sure he has a friend or two.
He definitely is that man.
Talks about his feelings too. I don't think all men are the same.
Important, and he is. He absolutely is. I do think like if you are in a heterosexual relationship, or even if you have men in your life who don't have friends, I think it's really important to figure out like how do we get you there if it is, I don't know if Jason wants it, but if he ever does want it, because I'll be very honest, this is the selfish part of the discussion. People with friends and good social networks live longer, healthier lives.
Totally.
That's fact.
We just do. And so for women, why do you think that if you go to, a long-term health care facility, it's all women? And it's because it's not just like, okay, it's a nice thing to have. The older you get, the healthier you can stay. They've actually done studies on this, that people who live the longest have less cardiovascular disease. They've got better immune functioning. This actually, they have said that loneliness in people is has the equivalent health impact of smoking 15 cigarettes a day. that is how bad and toxic loneliness is, especially the older that you get. So Ryan said to me the other day, babe, I think I'm gonna go back to playing like recreational hockey. And I was like, yeah. Get out there, because just the camaraderie, they go out to eat after, they get to hang, they get to talk. And I'll be honest, I think we have to give men more credit. They are, some of them are having these deep conversations. And guess what? You're gonna live longer for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're gonna live longer for it.
We didn't answer the question though, because this woman is like, she's also asking the question, should she help her husband make friends? Do you feel as a wife, because you guys are all wives, do you feel like it's your job to help your husband make friends?
I don't know. I don't need any more jobs.
I'm too busy.
Yeah, too busy, but I think definitely encouraging it and finding ways. We're really good at it. So, you know.
Yeah, naturally, as opposed to.
It's true. It's true. Get some friends. Yes, get some friends. Let's take a break, everybody. So shopping editor Renee Say is back with products to make sure that your makeup stays on all night long and even in this hot weather. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back. We love our Canadian summers, but there's no question that the heat and humidity can turn a good makeup look into a slip and slide in no time.
While we can't control the weather, there are plenty of ways to keep our makeup looking fresh on even the hottest of summer days. So here to show us how is the Kids shopping editor, Renee Say. Welcome back.
Good to see you, Renee. All right, so we got a lot of good stuff on the table. Let's start with something that's very important, and that is our SPF. What have you brought for us today?
Yeah, this step is really key, and today I brought one of my favorite sunscreen brands, Shiseido. They just launched this new formula that is going to be coming out next week on Shiseido.ca. It's a really cool, innovative formula. It's the Urban Environment Clear Mineral Sunscreen. So when you dispense it, Andrea,
I'm going to try it on, because you said clear, and sometimes people who with darker skin are like, is it clear? We're going to find out in a second.
It doesn't look clear. Okay, so it comes on like this.
It comes out as white, but then as you really work it into your skin, it does turn clear. It's also water resistant. And it's fragrance. Keep going. Keep working it in.
All right.
It's fragrance free.
I'm gonna pull a muscle.
Yeah. You really wanna work it into your skin so you get that protection. But it's so what I was saying.
That's not bad. Yeah. Okay. I was worried there for a second, Renee.
For sure.
It's really smooth.
I'm really glad we're like testing it on you, and you know, so you could like see it. So like I said, it's sensitive. It's great for sensitive skin because it has skin-loving ingredients like hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, ginkgo leaf extract. But what's really cool about it, it also doubles as a primer because it's an oil-free formula, so it kind of creates a really smooth canvas for your foundation or skin tint.
It feels
really smart.
Super soft.
This is not good.
Okay, so now we've primed our skin, and you want us to now look at our lashes, prime our lashes. So tell us more.
So waterproof mascara is of course the smudge-proof option, right? But let's say if you love your mascara formula, you don't want to use a waterproof one. I suggest a lash primer. So this is from Dior Show. This is the Dior Show lash primer from Dior, and it's an editor fave. The reason why it's an editor fave because it's not only a primer, but it's also a serum for your lashes. So it kind of gives your mascara that extra mile.
So if you want that extra length, this is what you need to put on
for
first.
sure, but it also helps like smudge, make it smudge proof, doesn't let it flake, and it helps lengthen, curl, volume, define for up to 24 hours.
I never have thought to prime my lashes
You're thinking
before.
like an extra step.
That's right.
But
worth
sometimes you don't love that waterproof mascara because you're just like, at the end of the day, you're like, it's never coming out. But like, let's say you love your mascara formula, you don't want to like.
This is the key right here.
This is the key. A primer,
all right, so you're 2 for 2 so far. Okay.
Mind blown.
Put that right there for later on. All right, so you have a trick for a long-lasting liner in the summer months, which I need because my face eats makeup in the summer.
I know. So let's say if you don't want your eyeliner, your pencil eyeliner to like move, a really great like makeup artist hack is to use a creamy eyeshadow in the same color as your favorite eyeliner, and you layer on top to kind of create that physical barrier. So today I brought Merit's Solo Shadow Cream, and what I love about this formula, it's a really buildable cream to powder formula.
This color is intense.
It is intense, just to showcase, but you know, some people love that wash of like color.
Okay.
And I love that it's water and transfer proof, and it kind of gives that like soft matte finish.
Yeah.
I actually do really like it. I
like
thought it
that.
was going to be really intense, but I can
No.
see how you could build this.
You can build. It's
Right?
very
You want the intensity, you don't
Yeah.
want the
Exactly.
intensity. So how do you apply it properly?
Yeah, so I just use just like my finger, and I go right into my eyeliner and just like apply it on top. But let's say you want it more precise, then use a liner brush to get that more precision.
Okay,
Yes.
I love that.
Good advice.
So when it comes to long-lasting cheek color, you want us to apply a cheek tint.
Yes.
I love this idea. Tell us
Yeah.
why and how.
Great. So unlike like powders and cream blushes, a cheek blush tint it stains your cheeks. So it
Okay.
gives your color it helps that color last a little bit longer. Well, until you want to remove it, so it's not
Okay.
going to stay there. So this is from Elf. This is their sheer
gonna try
for
it?
it tint.
Well, yeah, I kind of want to put it
for
on my
it.
face.
Go
Will you
for it.
will you tell me if I look like a clown?
Yes.
Do it.
Okay, fine.
Do
I'm doing
it.
that.
Let's see what it looks like.
Okay, so I'm taking
Yeah.
it. And
Okay.
I'm
So it's
gonna,
a very buildable and blendable. Yes,
Just
go
do
for
it.
it.
Just commit. Okay.
Come in. And then it's a very sheer texture, as you can see. It's not nice little wash of color because it has hyaluronic acid, so it has actually a very hydrating,
on a little bit more?
watery
I
texture.
know, you gotta look at me. You gotta look at me.
Yeah.
You gotta look at me. No. You really?
Wait, just no, I'm gonna do this
Okay.
side.
Yeah, you gotta
Keep
do
going,
that
keep going,
side.
keep
No,
going,
no, just
going.
blend that in. Otherwise,
Go.
All right,
yeah.
there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice
That's
little wash
okay.
of
Are
color.
we okay here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love.
So like you gotta really, be delicate with that.
Be
couple of
delicate,
little-
but don't be intimidated because, like I said, it's a very sheer, watery texture. So you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I put too
That's
much.
nice, right?
But if you put too much, if you think you put too much, put it on your lips, and because it's a multi-use, you could put it as your lip stain,
Okay,
and it create a
love
monochromatic look.
Love.
And it's under $10, which is always
Okay,
lovely.
another one that we put that right there. All right, so we're moving on to
Yes.
brows, and this is where you suggest that we use a waxy pomade. I've never used a waxy pomade,
Yes.
so I'm interested in this one.
So a waxy pomade kind of helps the moisture, keep the moisture at bay. So you would apply this on top of your favorite, like brow pencil or brow powder.
Okay.
And today I brought Maybelline's new Tattoo Studio brow pomade.
Okay.
And what I love about it is that it has a really natural texture. I can explain. I would actually, so it comes with a dual applicator, which is really cool. So you could use
Oh, you
the.
want to start with
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I
could
was
start
like,
with this.
that was an aggressive move. I was like,
Yeah. So you want
Okay,
to
so you
start
start
with
with this.
angular brush, and then you can
it.
put it into your lashes.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm not
put it
gonna
into
do
your
it.
eyebrows.
Okay.
And then it creates a very natural finish. But then let's say you've put too much.
I definitely did.
Use the spoolie to brush it out to create that very natural finish.
Okay.
Like that's how I would do it.
Okay.
Well,
Exactly.
let's ignore what I just did there.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
you
we
know
have
what?
a- we
Let's
have a
pretend that
concept,
didn't
yeah.
happen, and there you go.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, I get that. I love that idea.
So yes, so it just helps kind of lock in like your favorite. Again, it's another opportunity. You don't have to sacrifice your favorite brow pencil, brow powder.
Yeah.
You could use a waxy
And you put it
pomade,
on top
Put it on
of
top.
what
I love
exactly.
it. Fill in your brows.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to dust on a setting powder next. So I feel like this is a really essential step for those
Yes,
sweaty days.
For sure.
Yeah.
'Cause we all know setting powders can help, lock in that foundation. But did you know it can also help waterproof it? So today I brought Fenty's new brightening and setting powder.
Okay.
It's available in these beautiful. It's available in 6 shades. I only brought 5 today. But it has this ultra fine powder and can help lock in the moisture, but then lock in that makeup, but then like keep that moisture at bay.
Okay, and how
Yes.
do you apply that one? Do you put your
Yes.
foundation and then put the setting powder, and then
Exactly.
put your powder, and then put, okay.
Yes.
But then
So
how do
you
you know what
foundation.
color is? Like
Yes.
there's so many. What's the right color?
Because not every setting powder
Absolutely.
is created equally.
Absolutely, and I think there's a lot of universal setting powders that are clear, but because this is made by Rihanna, it's
Yes.
thought of by Rihanna. She's thought of,
She thought about all of us.
She thought of all of us.
That's why we love Riri. All right.
Exactly. So each color is for different skin tones. So like maybe the light and the pink and purples are for like lighter tones, and there's like the cinnamon and there's pumpkin, and that one's maybe for medium to darker tones.
Something
Okay.
for
Yes.
everybody. All right,
Okay.
and finally, we're going to finish things off with a
Yes.
finishing spray.
Yes, setting spray.
A setting spray, sorry.
Think of a setting spray as your protective seal. So today I brought Rare Beauty's Always an Optimist 4-in-1 Prime and Setting Spray.
That's a mouthful.
Yes.
Can I see it?
Yes. This is founded by Selena Gomez. It's an ultra-fine, glow-boosting setting spray.
Okay.
You can refresh, you can smooth, and you can...
How much?
Go for it.
I say go for it around...
Yeah.
Yes, that's like perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, and it smells good. You want some?
Yeah.
Take a hit.
So I would
Take a
actually
hit. Take a hit. Take a hit.
Oh, it smells
so
Use
lovely.
it as your last step, but if you really want that extra, refresh. If you wanted to help lock it in, you could even apply it between makeup layers to really keep every
Everything we're
step
supposed to be.
Exactly. But use that as the last step. Use it as a way to refresh throughout the day.
Make you happier.
Just spray yourself
Just
all
spray
over
whenever
your body.
you feel like it.
Renee, thank you so much.
so
This has been so
welcome.
helpful. Great information. Make sure that you can head to our YouTube channel after the show for a full recap. And now, studio audience, listen to this. We're sending you home with some fabulous summer-proof beauty products today. Oh, they like that.
I know, so great. Up next, from cold emailing to salary negotiations, career coach Emily Durham is here to help you land your next job. Don't go anywhere.
Good stuff.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Listen up. If you are struggling to find a job right now, you are not alone. From resume building to networking, it can be tough to stand out from the pack.
Absolutely. So here with the do's and don'ts of selling yourself to employers is career coach Emily Durham. Emily, welcome to the social.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Excited.
Okay. We love this topic, and it is hard out there for the people, okay? So let's start this. Step one, what do you consider it to be when it comes to selling ourselves to prospective employers? Where do we begin?
Yeah, so when we're thinking about prospective employers, the first thing you need to decide is, honey, what am I selling, right? So we need to be thinking about the kinds of jobs you're applying to. If you're applying to thousands of different job titles across thousands of different industries, your resume is probably not tailored how it has to be. So let's get focused. What's my ideal role? What's my ideal industry? And let's do that before we start getting into the crazy stuff like resumes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about different stages, but I would like to start with resumes because I think it's really interesting. So we were talking, have things changed from when we were looking for jobs? Like, what are the do's and don'ts right now for resumes?
Okay, I'm about to share a statistic that made me acquire like 6 new gray hairs when I first learned it. So you can't find them now. But the average recruiter looks at a resume for less than 6 seconds before they make a hiring. 6. By the way, you can't read in 6 seconds. They're scanning. So your resume needs to be short and sweet. I'm talking 1 page max, maybe 2 if you have 10 years or more of experience. The other thing that now with the rise of AI is very popular is people feel like they have to overdo keywords. AI is going to throw out my resume if I don't have all of these buzzwords. That's not really the case, and especially in Canada and the US, it's just not that sophisticated yet. So take all of that time and shift it into what's really important. A simple resume that's easy to digest. So how do you do that? No funky designs, baby. Let's keep it simple.
Really?
Oh, yes, because the applicant tracking systems are not going to be able to read and review it.
Okay.
So a simple resume is what matters. 4 to 5 bullet points outlining your work experience with at least 1 data point under each of your work experiences. That's the secret sauce today.
The data point.
The data point.
The proof.
It really is.
Okay, so keeping the idea of keeping those resumes simple, you say that we should keep something in mind called the grandma test. What does that
Speaking
mean?
of gray hairs.
Speaking of gray hairs, hi Nonna, love you. But the grandma test is basically a rule I have with my clients where I say, if you gave your resume to your grandmother, would she understand what you do for work? And if the answer's no, baby, it's too complicated.
Really?
Yes, because remember, recruiters are experts in recruiting. They don't know what you do from 9 to 5. Your resume needs to be in very clear language for it to resonate.
Huh, okay. So you have your resume now. You have a good resume, a very simple resume. Let's talk about networking. What are the do's and don'ts of networking right now?
Yes, so the reality is almost 80% of jobs are filled by word of mouth, and that's only going to get worse with the current job market. So networking is a fundamental part of your job search. So stop treating it like it's a transaction. So chatting with someone once and then saying, hey, can I have a referral for a job? You're probably going to get a response that says, now who are you? It's not happening. What you need to do is bake it into your day-to-day. So focus on that. One thing you can do is tap into your existing network. Reach out to friends, cousins, see if you have people, even in your social circle, that can help connect you to those. But if not, take to LinkedIn. Reach out to strangers. Sure, only 1 in every 10 is going to respond, but all it takes is 1. And the goal is to get them on the phone for 10 minutes, ask them 2 or 3 questions about their career, and at the end is when you say, well, now that you mention it, I am looking for work. Are you hiring? And that's the trick to help people get bought in before you say, hey, can I have a favor?
Right, okay. So listen, if you're gonna cold call or cold email somebody, there's ranks in the organization. So how far up are you trying to email? You go right to the top, mid-management? Who are we reaching out to?
I would say almost never go right to the top. My ideal is in the exact same level as the job you're applying to, or one above, being the manager. Anything beyond that, they're not really going to understand where they're at in the hiring process, so it's not a great use of your time.
Okay. What about the interview stage? What are the common mistakes that people are making right now?
Oh, so many. The first is people over-prepare, and I get it. I'm a nervous Nelly. I will over-prepare as well. But conversations and interviews are supposed to be conversations, not interrogations. You can't make that work. So focus on your interview prep being in bullet point notes and using the STAR method. So saying things like situations, tasks, actions, and results. Using that as a framework to answer is going to make sure you're short and sweet.
Speaking of short and sweet, you say small talk can go a long way in a job interview. Like, how so?
Yeah, it's the most important question is, how are you at the beginning of that interview? It creates a relationship and you're no longer a resume. You're the fabulous person who just went on a hike last weekend and just started watching that new reality TV show. So give people a little something when they ask how you are at the beginning.
Interesting.
Have something in your mind that's a little bit different.
Very
right?
work appropriate, but have a little something
Okay.
in mind.
Any other notes that we should have, like, and how we communicate and present ourselves in the interview process?
I love how you asked that question because you used your hands. And almost 80% of messages that we receive from people aren't with words, it's with body language and tone. So even if you mess up the answer, that's fine. Come in with that confident body language, smile, give them a little razzle-dazzle, and you'll be surprised how far that gets you.
Okay, here's the big one. The money talk. Negotiation for salary, okay? Yes. Give us, like, what is the thing we should not do, or I guess maybe conversely do?
Yes, you are never going to negotiate over email. That's not happening. It can really kind of make the tone a little bit confusing. Okay. You don't want to get into like a nasty email thread, essentially. What you're going to do is get them on the phone, thank them for the opportunity. You're not going to over-explain. They already want to hire you, so don't sell yourself all over again. Instead, state what your salary expectations are, lie a little, just by adding an extra $5,000 or so to play safe. I always like to know my worth, add a little bit of tax, and then at the end, you phrase it like a question. What can we do to get there? You're not demanding, you're not too assertive, you're having a conversation about how can we both make each other happy.
What can we do to get there?
It's a little sneaky, but it works.
I'm gonna use that in so many other avenues of my life.
It's very good. I always make notes. Everything's a negotiation.
Everything's a negotiation. What can we do to get there?
I love that.
This is just scratching the surface. We got to do a part 2, I think. Emily, thanks for these great tips.
It's amazing.
Yes.
So much fun.
Love that. We like that. Okay, let's take a break, everybody. We'll be back right after this.
Extra, extra! The Social now streaming on Crave. Thanks a lot.
This is awesome. You guys are out here.
Streaming on Crave. Sorry. Oh, that's amazing. The Social, now also streaming on Crave.
All right, everybody, just in time for Jerk Fest Toronto. That's happening this weekend. We are going to be trying out some jerk fusion recipes tomorrow on the show, including jerk lobster rasta pasta.
Oh, okay.
Are we here for that?
Yes.
Okay, we're here for that.
I better be in that segment. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, if you're not in that one, you might be in this one, because if you do prefer maybe sweet over savory, we're going to be checking out dessert-filled destinations from around the world. We're going to literally
I changed my mind. I want to be in that one instead.
Yeah, exactly. We have such a hard job, guys. We have a really hard job. Farah Nasser, thank you so much for joining us today.
So nice to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in every day, and we'll see you tomorrow, everybody.